Energy is what you need to do anything. To make something hot, you need heat energy. To illuminate any object, you need light energy. To power an electric device, you need electric energy.
Okay, let's all do it and see how long it can be. All right, ready?
Makes a sound. Good job. Our devices require energy to work, and they get this energy from electricity. But electrical energy can't be produced from nothing. It can only be obtained from some other form of energy. This energy demand is mostly met by fossil fuels of tapping into alternative energy sources, which are renewable and less harmful to nature. Every moving object holds energy, including wind. Wind can act on other objects, blowing them around and thus share its energy. Think of how wind enters a sail and propels a ship across water. A wind turbine is a device that produces electrical energy when its blades move. As wind strikes the blades, it shares its energy and causes the blades to rotate. The faster the blades rotate, the more electrical energy the turbine produces. That's why it's advantageous to place turbines where the wind blows constantly and at high speeds, far away from any forests and buildings that would hinder it. There it goes. Good job.
How does it do like someone's
It gets energy from the sun to power that.
We should use the one on pigeon things.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the pigeon thing.
Okay, let's put it out.
No.
It'll be on the whole time.
Energy can move from one object to another, like when energy from wind is transferred to a wind's turbine blades. Energy can also change from one form to another. Light carries energy. Objects can absorb light and convert its energy into heat. This is why you physically feel sunshine as warmth. Asphalt and sand heat up in the summer because they absorb light energy. But some materials convert light energy not just to heat, but to electrical energy. These materials are used to make solar panels. They catch the light coming from the sun and produce electric current. This current holds electrical energy and can make the buzzer beep. The more light hitting the solar panel, the more energy can be produced. That's why we rotate solar panels to follow the sun's movement during the day. Sunflowers follow the sun in the same manner. They use solar power for their own needs. That's so cool. So now these boys are going to connect a battery pack to their wind turbine to see if they can make the blades go. There it goes.
It just cuts my finger clean off.
Actually, it was really fast.
Mercer, do you see it? It's going.
And how does it go by itself?
Because you know, put this battery.
Now we're using battery power.
Now, if we got another way to put two outside, then you could power extra. That's just for the other one.
So now we have some boiling water.
Nice.
So we have some water here and boiling water in there. We're gonna put it in for about 30 seconds to heat that up.
Okay.
Then we have frozen water here. And we have a thermoelectric generator, which we are going to connect to our buzzer.
Okay, let's do that.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the cold end on the bottom. So Mercer, put that right there. Like that. And then we're going to carefully,
Oh my God.
hopefully this is hot. It worked! So when heat travels from a hot object to a cold object through a thermoelectric generator, the generator converts part of this heat
That's good.
into electricity. And well, you know it's working because the buzzer was beeping. Very good. If you want to use heat energy, you need to convert it to movement and produce a flow of this heat energy. But how do you do it? Hot objects carry more energy than cold objects and share this energy readily. When two objects with different temperatures come into contact, the hot object shares its heat with the colder object. Cats know this. That's why they often search for the warmest spot in the room to lie down in. Heat won't flow from a cold object to a hot one without external influences. What a surprise it would be for a cat to lie on a hot radiator that would steal its warmth. Fortunately, that never happens. Some pairs of materials not only share heat when brought into contact with one another, but also produce electrical energy. Such materials are used in thermoelectric generators to convert part of this heat energy into electrical energy. We use these generators in places where there's no other source of energy, such as in space far from the sun. Space rovers obtain heat from nuclear fission and produce electricity from that heat.